What's going on, Jose Diaz? Good morning, everyone. Salute from Miami, Florida. Always love when you pull up, Jose. Got to start everybody off right with that intro. Let's get it now. Let's see what we're going to put on the loop. We're going to put. All right, hold on. Yeah, see, I'm late. Jose popped in and popped out. Thank you for pulling up, Jose. Good morning to you. Every superhero needs his theme song.
Sunday Showcase, made possible by a public service grant from the National Endowment for the Arts and Bristol Myers Company in association with its divisions.
Yeah. All rise, open your eyes, no need to explain. I got a homie from the east and I'ma tell you his name. Never hang around lames, that's a part of his game. And if you show deep respect, he'll show you the same. Jeff undercard boxer, shook the world when he came. A lot of cats is playing, but his hands are insane. You can get steamrolled if you stand in the way. He a yardie from Flatbush, you cowards his cat puss. We used to feud like Bishop and Q, but he'll fuck you up quick if I give him the cue. From the city of Midwood, the south central part of New York, next to Bensonhurst and Borough Park. If it's a problem, don't even say shit. Just face this when you come across the Bay Bridge. No tolerance for BS or fake kids. Your blood clot crying. Just stop trying. Is Jeff Undercard prepared for the assignment? He bringing a appliance so cowards can't fight it. He might yoke you up if he feels slighted. He's spreading out toxins. It's undercard boxing. Yeah. Mad love and respect to my brother, man. From the motherland, word him up.
What's going on, family? Terry Smoot, what's good? I can't rent you up, Terry. You know, you get too trolling. I gotta, gotta put you on that immediate timeout. Nah, I'm just kidding, brother. Give me a second. Let me tighten you up, Terry. Because we know the trolling game is so elite that, you know, we got to fix you up nice and quickly before before someone start going crazy and snapping off at the hip. Give me 1 second, Terry. How you doing this morning? Good morning. So we have 4 fight cards today that we're going to discuss. 1 second. 4 fight cards today. Espn, dazn. There's another one on YouTube TV. Give me a second, Terry. Let me tighten you up. Terry. Make sure you're good in these streets. Got big news coming down the pipeline. We got undisputed versus undisputed. I mean, that's like the biggest news. Jermell Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez. September 30th in Las Vegas. So it's not the Jermell Charlo that we were expecting. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm still trying to work out these kinks here. All right, Terry, I got you. I'm gonna tighten you up. Let's discuss these fight cards, starting with Smith versus Maxwell. This one's going to be on dazn. This is for the British Commonwealth super lightweight title. Um, let's see. We also have undercard boxing is scared to death of King BVO boxing. Now, only thing I fear is God and disappointment. That's it. We have Pat McCoy versus Tony Dixon, the WBA Continental Super Welterweight title. We have Hope Hoppy Price versus James Breach Jr. Came from vacation to smash the like button. Oh, salute to you, BVO. We have been missing you going live. There's been a lot of news. I'm here to catch you guys up. Your boy Canelo will be fighting Jermell Charlo September 30th in Las Vegas. That fight was just announced. So we have Lewis Sylvester versus Adam Cope for the vacant British lightweight title. We also have Juden Bolston versus Ryan Amos, super welterweight. And before the bell at 12 o'clock, we have Corey O'Regan versus Jordan Ellis, lightweight. Nico Levar versus Alberto Motos, super bantamweight. And another super featherweight fight. And these fights is on the DAZN card starting at 2 p.m. The prelims, which will be showing on, let's see, start. Let's see, what you call it? These cards will be showing on DAZN today at 2 p.m. The black man, let's see, the black man is God. Jermell might get stopped in 4 rounds. Canelo is back on top as the face of boxing. Oh, I have a difference of opinion, but I wonder what's going to happen after Jermell Charlo puts the face of boxing in the dirt. How they're going to keep him off the pound for pound list and tell people that he's not an all-time great. I can't believe Canelo signed. Canelo, make sure you look at that contract. Charlie, yeah, absolutely. So because the fight's at 168, Jose, I'm not sure if there's going to be a catch weight or if he's going to just move up to 168 officially. Because to go from 154 to 168 to make that fight happen, I mean, that's a significant jump. Now we know that Jermell is a big dude, but that would be his first time fighting at the weight class. I just think it's an amazing fight. Undisputed versus undisputed is a good marketing tool. Prince Charles might get beat to death. Yeah, I got him getting stopped today by Jared Big Baby Anderson, but I'm talking about that fight in a little bit. Jermell number 1 pound for pound. Absolutely, I feel so too, and I think that this fight with Charlo is definitely going to give him and earn him his respect. This is great for boxing because not only are we getting top quality fights, we're getting them at a time where we've already seen that boxing. Big dude, pause, LOL. We've already seen Ryan versus Tank with no belts on the line do 1.2 million pay-per-view. So I'm excited for the prospect of what this fight can produce. It's September 30th, not September 16th, the day that Canelo normally fights. But that's because the UFC is putting on a card that day. So, they're not trying to divide the fan base. So they just pushed it a week later, maybe 2 weeks later, just so that way they own the entire day and time to put on this massive event. So we just went over the Smith versus Maxwell fight card that will be on DAZN. Every single fight card that I've discussed is already posted in my community post. If you are ever looking for a fight card and don't know where to find it, you can just look into my community post. I post the fight cards, the undercard, and where you can watch some of them. Sometimes it will just say YouTube, which means that it will be streamed on YouTube. I will try to do that as well. Maybe if it's a fight card that I think people are interested in. I just posted Hank Lundy versus Kurt Scooby, which happened yesterday. And it happened on Thursday. And I've already, it did a significant amount of views because people wanted to see the playback. And being that was Hank Lundy's last fight, he says he's officially retired. It's good to have that content up on my page because now people can see, who retired Hank Lundy, a guy who was never afraid to face anyone. And for a lot of times stepped up and, he fought Bud. He fought a lot of different names across a lot of different, 17 years in the game is what he said. Jamel is going to get knocked out in front of his family and friends. Canelo is back for his throne. He is the greatest fighter of this era. Opinion. But absolutely, you're allowed to have it. Someone said to be you were going to be over BVO Nation's news. Oh man, that sounds amazing. I mean, you know, if you guys want to book me for a show, you know I'm available. I'll pull up. So, another fight card: Franchon Cruz Dazn versus Savannah Marshall. This fight also comes on at 2 p.m. It is from the AO Arena in Manchester, England. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. We have Franchon Cruz Dazn versus Savannah Marshall. 10 rounds for her WBC, WBO, and IBF and WBA Women's Super Middleweight title. This is a 10-round fight. We also have Natasha Jones versus Katie Wyatt for the vacant IBF welterweight title. Now, Natasha Jones is someone who's been going back and forth with Clarissa Shields, stating that she wants to fight her. She's getting a title opportunity for a vacant IBF belt. You have Zach Kelly versus Mark Jeffries, 10-round super middleweight. We have a guy that they've been building as the next star, Ben Whitaker at light heavyweight versus Vladimir Buskai. You have Callum Simpson versus Boris Crinton. You have April Hunter versus Christy Bavington. And you have Willie Hope, heavyweight fight to start. Let's see. Canelo proved at a lot of all those cats who said he was ducking to have to eat crow. Yeah, it's been a lot of different feedback to this Canelo. Not only who he's fighting, the weight that he's fighting at, signing with PBC. Canelo really has the boxing world on its head right now because a lot of people are happy with the move, not happy with the move, but they're also just elated that Canelo will be fighting someone with a pulse or someone that we actually want to see him fight. Give me a second. It says Canelo is on the decline. Charlo takes care of business. Destroy clenbuterol. Yeah, we have to remember. Oh, congratulations, BVO, for getting monetized, man. I got to come over there and show some support. Congratulations to you, bro. Let's see what's the next one. Canelo is going to walk right in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, just don't forget before you put him in the Hall of Fame that he was caught with those taco meats. All right, we're not gonna leave anything to chance, and we're gonna always remember to keep the facts the way the facts are. Took his place as the king. He has some Oscar in him. Yeah, he was greatly promoted by Oscar De La Hoya until he decided to leave and go over with Eddie Hearn, and it seemed to have slowed his mobility. Like he could have been a lot bigger star. I know that everyone has placed him as the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. That's a Canelo ate some tainted beef. Pause. If you say so. If you say so, I don't know. BVO, is that okay? And Oscar Valdez was drinking Earl Grey tea. That's why he tested positive for a diuretic. All right, so those are the two fight cards coming on at 2 p.m. You have one on DAZN, you have one on ESPN. So you get to start your fix of boxing very early, and I'm excited for that because it feels like you have a whole day of boxing with interesting cards. You don't really know the outcome. I think Savannah Marshall will be beat by Franchon Cruz. I think there might be a significant knockdown in the fight. I think someone is going to get hurt. I'm not sure if the fight ends in TKO, but I definitely think Savannah hits the canvas. Canelo never cheated. Bro, stop the propaganda. You are a bad fate actor. T loaded. Oh yeah, loaded T. Yeah, see, BVO. If you're not going to be fair to everyone, you have to keep. I mean, I can look it up. That's why we call them clenbuterol. You forgot that the WBC tried to raise the limit of how much you can have in your body just to state that he was still loaded. Yeah, cap. I believe you, BVO. Canelo and Cheetah. Let's see what pops up. Let me see if I'm the only one spreading this propaganda. It's a 2017. Look, I mean, if it's just me, then you have to come and call all these other guys who are writing these articles about Canelo cheats too. It's okay. Savannah Marshall might pull off the upset. Yeah, I think there's a chance if it's a close fight that French Sean Cruz won't get the decision. But if she's going out there and dominating for 10 rounds, similar to how she was dominated by the likes of uh, Clarissa, I think there's just I think that's how she wins the fight, and that's pretty much her only way to go out and win the fight. So there's another fight card. It's in Germany. It's also going to be shown on YouTube. I'm not exactly sure who's going to be posting the fight, but I'm going to try to find it and put either the link to my page, or I'll just try to stream it on my page itself. But the significant fight is Falcone versus Vincent Glurado. It's for the vacant IBF middleweight title, vacated by Triple G. As you know, he dropped his IBF and WBA title. And although that this division 160 has not been getting a lot of noise, they are making significant fights to, have champions in that division, get the belts back into the hands of people who are willing to fight for it. So the IBF is ordering a title fight. The WBA already upgraded Lara to full champion. Jamal Charlo is still the WBC champion, and I think the WBO is Janabek. So within a couple of days, all these fighters will be the belts will be in the hands of people, so that way we can start making unification fights. And we're not going to worry about cross networks at the moment. We're just going to worry about having champions back in the 160 division, and hopefully these guys can start mixing it up, because I believe it's Falcone is an ESPN fighter, so a unification between him and Janabek would be an interesting fight. It'd be combining the WBO and the IBF. If Canelo had waves and a beard, you would be his biggest fan. I don't know what that has to do with anything, BVO, but I also always thank you for stopping by. He's little. Ginger is over. Yeah, facts. Jamal is gonna tower over that dude and punch down on him. Black and Spanish people are brothers. Why are you going against Brother Canelo? The WBC upped the levels because it was a mistake. Oh my Lord. Is that what you believe? It was a mistake, so that's why they raised the minimum level just for Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, I wonder if Canelo did have waves and a beard, would they have done the same thing? 160 is a wasteland again. Supposedly Triple G is not retired from the sport of boxing, because Eddie Hearn's trying to dig him up and throw him in the ring with Jaime Munguia. I did hear some whispers, not whispers, but I'm not sure if it's a rumor, but the WBC ordered Jaime Munguia versus Benavidez, Mauricio Suleiman. They ordered, because Benavidez has the WBC interim, and we clearly know that Canelo's not fighting him. Needs to be stripped. Excuses suck. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, he'll make any excuse. So, yeah, language, brother, language. Thanks for stopping by. Listen, all we're doing is stating the facts, and I know it must really affect your opinion, because what you're saying doesn't align with what's actually going on. BVO, we're not even concerned about him being Oh, Mike Kirkland, good morning, brother. How you doing today, sir? Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for showing up, man. Really means a lot. So we're just discussing the 2 fight cards that we have. Well, 3 fight cards. We have 4 fight cards today, but we've already ran through 3 of them. I'm probably going to drop the link after we go over the 4th one, which is I think the most exciting one for today, which is the Jared Anderson versus Prince Charles Martin. A lot of guys in this undercard are upcoming fighters. Um, Good prospects. Like it's I really do like the way Top Rank is filling out these cards, because the guys that they are putting on, I'm not sure how the matchmaking is, but you do enjoy seeing them. You do enjoy seeing their development. Are they being tested by the top level of competition? Probably not, but they only have 8, 7, 6, 10 fights. When they move from prospect to contender, then they will raise the level, and especially when they start to be ranked. Okay, Mike Kirkland. Okay, he says Jamal needs to stay out the bar, man. BVO. I'm gonna just start. Yeah, I'm gonna just start ignoring this dude. Okay, so the ESPN card. So listen, we have 2 ESPN fight cards today. We have Jared Big Baby Anderson at 7 p.m. and we also have Savannah Marshall, which also will be shown on ESPN. Anderson, get this one. He can crack. Yeah, I think so. I think he's gonna knock out Charles Martin. I think Charles Martin. Let me just check his box recs real quick. Charles Martin. I think he's coming off of a win, like a rebound win after being knocked out by Luis Ortiz. And I don't think that's something to Luis Ortiz can crack. His last fight, he did get a TKO. The dude was 22-7. So let's look at his record real quick. He lost to Anthony Joshua. He lost to Adam Kanaki, which he was on Kanaki was on a winning streak till he just messed up and lost last weekend. Anderson might get knocked down in the fight. I mean, that would be good so he can show some. And Charles Martin lost to Luis Ortiz. Gregory Corbin. Let's see if he fought anyone. Joey DeWeco. Joey DeWeco looked like he's fought everyone too. Yeah, his 3 fights have come in against Luis Ortiz, Anthony Joshua, and Adam Kanaki, which at the time he was 17-0. I think that's a good resume. Now the guys who he has fought, I'm guessing were just the guys who were available inside of the division at the time. But at 14-0, does Big Baby Anderson have the experience for a Charles Martin? Someone who's definitely going to try to push him, maybe do different things in the ring. Maybe he won't come directly towards him. Maybe he won't try to rush him. Maybe he'll try to box him first. Big Baby might be the next undisputed superstar champion. Possibly, maybe. He has to. I think he has to try fall back in love with the sport, because he's not. I don't think he's going to stay around long enough to accomplish those things. Maybe he just wants to be a champion and retire from boxing. I'm not sure if you heard in his interview, but he was stating that he's not in love with the sport. The sport, I think it's just heavy on his shoulders what he has to go through at such a young age. So we also have in the second fight, Ars Blekel Makadov. Prince Charles sold his belt to Joshua, in my humble opinion. Anderson win this one. Yeah, I mean, I think they're good fights. Like Charles Martin on 11 days notice, just stepping in to fight a Big Baby Anderson, a knockout artist, a guy with all KOs. Maybe this is his opportunity to, get him knocking off a top prospect like Jared Anderson on someone else's network. Charles Martins is a PBC fighter. So if he can knock off Big Baby, go back to PBC, maybe he can be a someone who fights Deontay Wilder. He's looking for a dance partner after Andy Ruiz has multiple times turned down the fight, or wants to negotiate in public. Prince Martin might be the new General Wilder's gatekeeper. That's a possibility too. But like I said, 3 losses, and if you hear the names, they're very recognizable. They're guys with significant win totals. They're guys with at the time that he fought them good records. Luis King Kong Ortiz is a problem. That southpaw, that old man, or because I know he's older than he says he is, can crack, and that's significant. So on the undercard, you have Jaheed Tucker versus Nicholas Foss at junior middleweight. If anyone missed Jaheed Tucker last fight, I suggest you go and try to find it. It was an absolute war. The guy, I think he was hurt, but he bit down on his mouthpiece. He showed a lot of resolve, and he fought tooth and nail with the guy and ended up pulling off the victory. Now, he wasn't knocked down in the fight, and he was hitting the guy with some big, hellacious shots to the point where I was like, how is this guy still standing? But I'm just excited for Jaheed Tucker because he's calling out the likes of Xander Zayas. He wants smoke with a lot of different fighters, and hopefully Top Rank makes those in-house fights so that way we can see them. You don't need to have 17 heavyweights under your tutelage and none of them ever fight each other. You're always bringing in somebody else. You can't have the top prospects all the time. They eventually have to knock each other off, unless the plan is to just keep running them up and hopefully one gets a title and then they'll fight each other and just keep knocking each other off. You also have Tiger Johnson. I thought he was the prospect of the year last year versus Jonathan Morales. It's an 8-round junior welterweight fight. His last fight, he went the distance with the guy. I thought he could have stopped the guy and got him out of there. But he is a developing prospect. He works with the likes of Jerron Boots Ennis. Very solid guy. He's at 140. We also have Abdullah Mason versus Alex D. Oliveira. This is lightweight. I don't like that each time Abdullah Mason has to make weight, he's dropping down to nothing to make this weight. I'm not, maybe 135, although it's a very glamorous Tiger. Tucker is a monster. Yeah, Tiger Johnson or Jaheed Tucker. Yeah, they're both monsters, absolutely. I don't know if he's, struggling to make the weight, but my suggestion is if you can't and you have the possibility of missing weight, to just move up so you can make the weight more comfortably. So you also have Tyler McCare versus Devin Julio. This is junior lightweight. You have Dante Benjamin Jr. versus Miraj Zol. This is light heavyweight. You have Hassan Al Masadi versus Rance Ward, junior middleweight. And you have DeAndre Ward versus DeCarlo Perez, super middleweight. So we got 4 fight cards today with significance because of who was on the card. This is Jared Big Baby Anderson homecoming fight. This is significant. Vanti versus Apollon. Who do you have? Which fight card is that? I don't know who that is. Who that? Who them people? I don't know who that is. Which fight card is that? I'm going to put the link in the chat soon so you guys come up and we can holler. Don't worry, BVO. I'm not going to mute you if you start talking crazy. All right? I'm going to be respectful, just like I try to do to everyone in the chat. But we're getting some great fight cards getting announced. It seems as if we're only 4 weeks away from the biggest fight in boxing, which is Inoue versus Fulton. Nah, I'm joking. Spence versus Bud. Great fight cards upcoming. Great talent. Great, when the fight card is unknown or when the decision is not, significantly known just as of yet. I think that's really great for the sport of boxing. Today is just a fun fight card. It's funny when the PBC puts on a fight card, you feel as if, Villa might stop Boots. I will be there live. Are you going to AC, bro? For real? Villa might stop Boots. I will be live. Cleveland will be in the house. Oh my, for real, BVO? You pulling up to AC? Bro, I've been trying to find a reason to go, man. If you really going, I might pull up with you, bro. All facts. That's dope though. Yeah, I was thinking about pulling up to AC, man. It's right down, like it's about an hour away from me. Is GGG's career overrated career wise? Yeah, I think them trying to build him up as better than Marvin Hagler, calling him this monster. I don't think he has the significant wins on his resume to back up or support those claims. And maybe he tried to go off the hype of HBO and not really take the fights and make the fights that people wanted to see. But hit the link, bro. The girl from Purple Rain. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I'm here to talk boxing. Is this boxing? We talking boxing? Hit the link, BVO. Come on up. Everyone in the chat, please hit the like button. Thank you. If you guys want to support. There goes my my cash app floating across the top of the screen. I thank you to everyone that's pulling up. I thank you to everyone that's liking, subscribing to the content. Uh, New goal is 500 subs. We're at 287. So on this replay, if you're watching and you're catching it for the first time, every Saturday that we have a fight card, we're going to go live for about an hour, hour and a half, break down the fight cards, who's fighting, where you can watch them. Looks like a light heavyweight. I'm not sure he can make weight in that weight. Yeah, well, there's been a little bit of rumors, and I can't confirm this for myself, but the first fight is supposed to be at 147, but the rematch, they might be taking it to 154 because of that. So if that is, true, or if that's significant enough to happen, I think that's really dope. I'm happy for the state of boxing. You have a lot of upcoming fights, a lot of great things, upcoming, and the state of boxing is in a great place right now. I want to thank everyone for stopping by. I'm not leaving. I'm just want to discuss, some of the things that are in the news as it pertains to boxing. Um, like I said, the big news is Canelo versus Jermell Charlo, undisputed versus undisputed. How is your favorite fighter in boxing? Who? That would be Jerome Boots Ennis, who fights July 8th. And you also have Stanionis versus Ortiz July 8th. So you have two possible opponents who may face each other fighting on the same day. I think that's great for boxing. Jermell versus Canelo is huge for boxing. I also want to salute Tank and Ryan. Each time that a big fight gets made, I have to remember who was there in the beginning to make that fight possible. And that is Tank and Ryan. No matter what people say, no matter what people subscribe to BBO, come join the conversation. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll drop your link, bro. Drop your link in the chat. I have no problem shouting out other content creators doing great work over there on BVO Nation. Shout out to Prize Fighter. Always enjoy the content. It's always a good time, always a good chat, spirited debates between one another. Yeah, so Roy Jones did EJ is the biggest welterweight I've ever seen. I think Kell Brooks was actually bigger than Errol. But sometimes you have to just look back in history. Some of our vision is very just in the moment where we're just looking at it now. Like Jerome Boots Ennis is not a small kid, and for him to be so low every time that he hits a scale, like he's not even close to 147. He's at like 146, 145 sometimes at the weight. Thomas Hearns was a big one. Correct. See, I believe Breadman is a terrific trainer. I do so also. I think that Adams versus J-Rock's fight shouldn't have been stopped when it was. I think that's a good fight. Who does Carlos Adames face next? Those are some good questions. They are building him as the boogeyman. Boots is a hype job. I agree. You know what? I find it more interesting to have a lot of people to have their opinion, and then we'll see if he's a hype job July 8th. And I'm excited for the state of boxing because we get to see him put on a fantastic show. He's also headlining his own card in Atlantic City. So BVO, are you going to Atlantic City, or are you just going to be calling the fight? Because I've been kind of trying to find a reason to get down there, and if you're saying that you are, then I know I might do the same as well. I might pull up on me. We're also like 2 weeks out from Cool Boy versus Inoue. Woods is the next 147 champ. Yeah, I think so too. And the way the IBF works is if it's possible that Arrow drops those belts, he will be directly elevated to champion. So, and I'm not saying that's how he should get his first belt. I wouldn't mind if he fought for a vacant belt. I mean, for a vacant belt, or fight one of the title holders. But as you can see, the state of boxing, they're not staying around trying to fight that young bull. What they're doing is making their fight maybe a rematch, and then that's it. They're out of the division, and they're going to allow the guys behind them, the Virgil Ortiz, the Jerome Bruce Ennis, the I was going to say Connor Ben, but he still hasn't served any suspension for his time for being for testing positive for his drugs or his steroids. So there's just guys in the division who are itching for an opportunity. Who else you have? Alexis Rocha for the WBO. Like, if you go through the rankings, let's see. Let's go check some the welterweight rankings right now and see who we have coming up next. And who may be champions in the future. I heard Dennis Ugas might come back and fight Keith Thurman. That would be a significant fight. Yeah, wow. They have him ranked number 4. Okay, so Terrence number 1, Errol number 2, Udanis number 3, Jerron number 4, Keith Thurman number 6, Stanionis, Avanesian, Butayev, Alex Rocha. Wow, that's not a bad list of people in the ranking system. Um, where my Terry, I try to wrench you up, man, but I got to go off to YouTube to do that. Just how about we just start talking, Terry? Hit the link, Terry. Come up for a second. Come cook. Hold on. Let me try to wrench you up real quick, Terry. Give me a second. Yeah. So obviously, everyone has stamped Boots as the next guy coming up. He's gonna have to prove it inside of the ring. Uh, it is imperative that he starts to get quality fights, but it takes two to tango. Yeah, if the likes of Keith Thurman, Udanis Ugas, if the guys who are before him don't want to come and take the fight, I don't see how that's going to be that just kicked me off, and I had to go all the way around. We went black, all good on the card. Yeah, it's only because I don't know how to do. I'm on StreamYard right now, and when you give people wrenches, you have to do it on the YouTube side. So I got you, Terry. I'm gonna tighten you up. Just give me a moment. Uh, so yeah, I mean, Boots has a fight July 8th, um, next week in Atlantic City. Headlining his first major card, you have Joseph Adorno also on that card. I think you have is it Albert Rodriguez versus Victor Postal? Is that this card? Let me see. Double check. Double check. You have excuse me. You got Yoel Gomez versus Marquise Taylor, and you have Edwin De Los Santos, the guy who says that he's been ducked a lot of time. Yeah, my bad about that. Yo, good. Is it true? Is it true? No, no, no. It's facts, Terry. It is 100% undisputed versus undisputed. The haters are gonna be mad. Canelo's about to get knocked out, and I want to see how they're gonna keep Jermell Charlo off that pound for pound list if he quote unquote beats the face of boxing, or the greatest fighter of this era. It is true. It's official for September 30th in Las Vegas. They're not doing the 16th because that's already booked up. So yes, it is true. It is 100% confirmed. Jermell posted it on his social. Uh, Canelo posted it on his social, and not only that, I think what's significant is Jamal said he wasn't going to be ready, and that's why Jermell got the opportunity, according to an article I was reading this morning. But I think this is significant because now we might get the opportunity to see Boo Boo Andrade versus Jermell Charlo about to finish Canelo. Well, wait, it's going to be at 168. They're fighting. They're going to go up and fight for Canelo's belt. Now, maybe that's a factor. If someone is comfortable at the weight class and you're moving up for the first time into that weight class, that could be a significant disadvantage for Jermell Charlo. But I still have the utmost, just like how I had the utmost ability that Jamal was going to beat Canelo, I now have increased that. But it's kind of significant. Jermell has also been off a year because of the broken hand. He's going to have ring rust. He's been out the ring for a while. Um, Going up 14 pounds is a lot. Yeah, and it'd be kind of crazy if he goes up and fights Canelo, and then because he still has all his belts at 154, he has to come back down and fight the likes of Tim Tszyu. Because if you know, they said that they have to fight by October. And Tim Tszyu just recently put out that they had agreed on a location, which was in the United States, and they were just waiting for a date to announce. And then up in Adam, PBC and Showtime announced this fight. He needs to come in at 162 at the most. Yeah, I think if they put it at a catch weight at 165, I think that would be good. But if you're gonna fight the champion for his belts, we can't reverse the standard and say that he needs to give him. I wonder if there's gonna be a rehydration clause. True, that's a tough stretch for Jamel. Then, yeah. Listen, if you KO Canelo at 168, there's a possibility that you're going to have to do that fight over again. They're going to try to make a second fight at 168. He's going to want a rematch to get his belts back, because imagine if he comes over and loses his belts in the first fight at on PBC. That would be crazy. Canelo, then Tim Tszyu are hard fights back to back. Listen, if Jermell is trying to run the gauntlet and show people that he is in fact who he says he is, and prove to people that not only am I, because a lot of people have Jermell number one pound for pound. A lot of people have stated that he is that guy going forward. It's significant for him to take these tough fights, whether back to back, whether one after the other, whether it's Canelo in September and Tim Tszyu in January, however it goes. If he he might be the first fighter to hold undisputed in 2 separate weight classes at the exact same time. Now, you know, let's see, what did BVO say? I'm proud of you, man. Keep it going. Jamel has nuts. He needs to fight him at 160. That's what he's doing. BVO. He is going up to 168 in final. Canelo, of course, Canelo is the A side, and he's also the pay-per-view star. And I think if the fights were presented to him was Jermel, and David Benavidez, I think based on stardom and the mismatch of characters to put in with Canelo and build this fight and sell this fight and talk your shit, bro. You've been avoiding me since 154. My brother was at 160. You ducked my brother at 160. You ran to 168, and that's when you finally made a claim because you knew you'd have to go through a Charlo for your name to become undisputed at these other weight. Like there's so much you can go back. I've seen people releasing tapes now of them standing with each other. I favor both Charlo brothers to beat the overhyped Canelo. Mike Kirkland, my brother. I said the same thing. But you know what it is? The fact that we no longer have to speculate about what takes place, I think is great for boxing because now these questions get to get answered on the big stage. Like now it's no longer our opinion of a fighter. Now they actually get to go in the ring, put fisticuffs on people, and then at the end of it go, I told you. I told you my guy was going to beat your guy. I told you why. I told you that Canelo's been looking rusty. I don't care if he signed a 3-fight deal. It might be 3 ass whoopings over at the PBC because a significant amount of time that he spent on the zone, he kept fighting a Ryder and a Yildirim and Gennady Golovkin at 40 years old. Canelo has not been the same fighter after he's been busted for clenbuterol. Gonna keep it a bean. Ever since then, he gets tired after the 6th round. Just go rewatch the Bivol fight. He's gasping for air. His punches no longer have the sting. He no longer can just throw a million punches. His age or being a pro for so long? Probably. I didn't know that Canelo turned pro at 15. That's kind of crazy. Did anyone know that? That Canelo turned pro at 15? That's a lot of fights. That's a lot of wear and tear on your body. I mean, that is something significant. This is crazy. And if anyone's paying attention to what's going on in the NBA, a lot of money is being given out right now. A lot of money. Like the new rules. Whew. Oh, and just for all the boxing fans, you might not have to hear Max on Boxing anymore. He has been fired from ESPN. So at least we what's BVO saying? Goofball. At least we've got one goofball removed from commentating on the sports that we love, which is boxing. So there's a chance that no more Max on Boxing, no more calling T.O. Undisputed champ in 2 weight classes because he beat Josh Taylor, who only had 1 belt. The Canelo that fought Ryder gonna get hurt against Charlo. I agree. What would you got? I think I want to see on the undercard Boo Boo versus the other Charlo. So you can have both Charlo brothers. Make that fight pay-per-view. Give them some of the revenue as well. I think that fight, those 2 guys on opposite ends of one another, because Boo Boo can call out Canelo. Jamal can call out Canelo. Like, it can be one very big mashup of talent. And September, because I know he says he wasn't going to be ready, and that's why Jermel stepped in based on what I was reading. But I think you put that fight on the undercard of the bigger fight, and I think that fight sells itself. That also does another million pay-per-view. So you're going to have Tank do $1 million. You're going to have Spence versus Bud do $1 million. You're going to have Canelo versus Charlo do $1 million. That's significant for the sport of boxing and how they allocate these funds to these fighters. You might, if your favorite fighter hasn't fought this year, or if you're wondering, will they make another big fight? I did want to see David Morrell versus David Benavidez because I think that's a great fight to make. But or let's start shuffling the 168 up because they have a lot of fighters over there. What about Plant versus David Morrell? What about David Morrell versus Boo Boo Andrade? What about Boo Boo Andrade versus Plant? They have a lot of guys over there, and if contracts are being put down in front of fighters and they're getting a decision to make on who they want to fight or who they want to take the next step with, I think that's great for the sport of boxing. You know, guys mixing it up only helps enhance the sport. Um, you have 140 where guys are being ordered mandatory fights to defend their titles, so they have to be slotted on someone's undercard because some of them are not main event fighters, but they have enough buzz. They have a good fighting style where you're like, okay, Hector Garcia will soon be returning to the ring after losing to Tank because he has a mandatory title defense for his WBA title. Um, Gary Jr. says he will be returning. Gary Antoine is going to be returning to boxing. Oshaki Foster versus Joe Cordina. He might not be on PBC, but that may be a fight that we might see, a unification fight. Maybe he goes, wins that belt over at the Zone. I know with the Zone, it's always a 2-fight deal with them where it's like a fight and then a rematch, and then he leaves and goes somewhere else. But the state of boxing is in a great place. We have literally fights all the way up till September, especially with this fight being announced. If you're a boxing fan, if you're a boxing advocate, if you're a boxing supporter, right now is the best time to be a boxing fan because fights are being made, the outcomes are unknown, and we get to have significant conversation, not just about what's not happening, but what is happening. You really have to start to block out the noise in boxing where, the sport is dying, PBC's going broke, these things are not happening, these fighters are not fighting. Why hasn't Jamel came back? Why hasn't he been stripped? I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about the quality of the fights that are being made right now, the fighters that are getting in the ring and entertaining us, putting their life on the line, sacrificing so much, making us some money. Let's keep it a bean. I'm excited for where boxing is right now. Who's fighting? What is next to happen? We still haven't even given a full rundown of Spence versus Bud because I'm gonna do it probably closer to the fight date. Everyone is making videos, and I support and salute every single one of them. I'm gonna start to find this is my time slot for the Saturday morning to go over fight cards, to give you guys breakdowns, to tell you where to watch these fights. I'm also gonna post them on my YouTube. If you're ever looking for a fight card, look into my YouTube community page. Sometimes they post on the YouTube itself. Other times they're kind of hidden. I don't have, the followers where if I put something up, it just gets plastered on YouTube for a lot of time. But I'm still growing. I'm still developing. I'm finding my niche, which is allowing myself to give you, the boxing fans, where to find fight cards, where to watch them, where to where they're being shown and who's on the undercard. Um, there's a lot going on in boxing. Is sometimes too much to keep in contact with because it's like this is breaking, this is happening, this is fake news, this is real news. Sometimes I wait for announcements, but I'm telling you, I was very shocked yesterday to find Jermell and Canelo on a fight poster. That really kind of, it let me know that not only is the PBC making significant fights, but once again, they're putting another 50-50 fight on. The outcome is not fully guaranteed, no matter what our opinion is. You have Inoue versus Fulton, another 50-50 fight where you don't know the outcome. Spence versus Bud. Last weekend, even Adams versus J-Rock. No one, significantly said that was going to be a walkover fight for J-Rock and that he was going to just run through, or Adamus was just going to run through J-Rock and get the win. It was pretty much back and forth if you really watch the fight. July 8th, you have Boots versus Villa. July 15th, you have Martin versus Hartuna Zuzan. You have Baumgardner. You have Stanionis versus Ortiz. You also have Floyd Schofield as the co-main event. You have Marlene Esparza. You have Jose Diaz Jr. Like there is fight. You have Pacheco getting his own debut card, Rising Star. This guy is at super middleweight. Someone's saying that he might be a title contender soon. There is just so much boxing going on, and I'm elated for the work. Sometimes it feels daunting, to post all the fight cards. Skills from New Orleans. One love. Salute, my brother. Salute. Blessings. Always good to see you, Skills. Thank you so much for pulling up. So there's 4 fight cards today. The earliest a fight card will start is at 2 p.m. on ESPN Plus. That will be the fight card for Franchon Cruz and Savannah Marshall. If you guys still have your DAZN subscription, 2 p.m. you have Smith versus Maxwell. At 4 p.m. there is a what's that? What's up, Skills from New York? Yeah. That's a good brother right there, man. Whenever I see Skills, there's always salute. And remember, we still got that bet. What'd you call it? Mike Kirkland, big bro. Yeah, salute to the highest level, man. Highest. It's funny that we built such a community over here in the YouTube streets. I haven't been on YouTube very long, but I've made some really good connections. Ones that I can ask advice, I can speak to, I can ask questions, I can be given information. Like if I need help with something, people always say, don't hesitate to reach out. So I'm always grateful for the boxing community. I'm grateful for everyone that stops in, from the beginning of the chat to the end of the chat. Dapper Douglas, morning. Jeff at Undercard Boxing. That's me. One and the same. Dapper Douglas, salute, bro. What I'm gonna do is after the show is over, I'm gonna put everyone with wrenches so that way, we don't have to worry about getting timed out. So at 4:00 there's a fight card in Germany. It's going to be on YouTube. I don't think many people will be, tuned in. Dapper, I'm still waiting for that tutorial, man. I'm still waiting. Matter of fact, you probably put it up. We missed the shorts, man, especially with the sense. I had the Da Vinci Gentleman and the Creed Aventador on yesterday. If you guys are looking for some sense, some subtle sense, please go like and subscribe to Dapper Douglas. It's a good brother right there. Yeah, Mike is alive, man. We checking on you, Douglas. We trying to see where you've been. Yeah, definitely go and check out Dapper Douglas. Sense, being a gentleman, just being able to talk to people. So at 7:00 you have the Top Rank card, also on ESPN. I added to TikTok and YouTube today when I'm off. Got you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I think I got to download TikTok too. Someone says that's a good way. The same shorts that I'm doing on YouTube on TikTok, it'll do the same thing. It'll be even bigger. So I'm excited for that. What else? Yeah, Jared Big Baby Anderson versus Charles Martin, 7 p.m. So you got a full day of boxing. As long as you guys are tuning in, you guys are supporting, you guys are showing up, you guys are spending not your money but your hard-earned time watching these fights, commenting on these fights, then the state of boxing will continue to grow. Big news: Jermell Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez, undisputed versus undisputed, September 30th in Las Vegas. I'm not sure if that's going to break pay-per-view records. I think it will. I think that's a great, significant fight. I think even though Charlo has been out the ring for a year, I think it's 168. It's going to be at 168. So Jermell is going up, obviously. With Canelo being the A side, man, you know he's not coming all the way down. Come on. We know Canelo is still gonna, he's going to flex his A side status, but I think Jermell has enough skill set. He's a big dude too. Jermell Charlo is not it's not like he's 5'4". Jamel, hold on. Let me check real quick. Let's see. You know what's funny? Didn't he ask for that? Jamel made a video. Let me see. Hold on. I think I have it right here. Hold on. Let me try to play this real quick. Hold on. Crazy Mike reported. Fresh
Selling your
off
car?
YouTube.
We'll buy it. Fast,
He is.
safe, fair.
Even though he's been out for a year. This was, I don't know, maybe this was what sold the fight. Let me see. I'm playing right now.
Undisputed versus undisputed. Fuck it. I 150. I gained a little weight. Yeah. You little Charlie will fight anybody. Nigga, I ain't never done no smoke, nigga. Yeah. Undisputed versus undisputed. That could be a big thing in boxing.
It's a light.
Yeah, lie, man. Come talk some shit.
Come get on there. Get on that shit. Oh yeah, my nigga light.
I'm sorry. Sitting in the backyard. There goes Guzman. We out here chilling, man. Just thinking about some shit. Fuck it, nigga. That bitch can't beat me with that shit. His last performance, that bitch can't beat me. Yo. That's all I want in life. I just want to show a little bit of y'all that I do exist. Motherfuckers. Stop playing with me. Shit, that he ain't get right. Nigga, knock him out and come back and knock the other motherfucker out, because that's all the way I won. I'm only investing for what I did. You feel me? I won. Hold on, let's say something. Hold on, nigga. Cal said something. Kevin, Brent, I gotta get out of here. They told me, PR team told me I gotta get off the phone. Yeah, because I really would say some shit. But, man, I don't know why. I mean, I heard Danny Garcia fighting us like he lied. I'm finna win only in bets this year. Fuck it, I'm gonna make more money in boxing betting on you niggas in there. Nigga, I'm a promoter. Big time. What do you think? God damn. Fuckers, stop playing with me.
I mean, that video is just aging like fine wine. Because Jamel did say he would fight the likes of Nello, and now the fight's been made. It says that break for Melo could have been good for him after that Castano fight. Yeah, because that fight was a war. If you seen them throwing punches at each other, that, I mean, you already said though, he's not just going up to go fight Canelo and vacating his belts. He want to fight Canelo, come back down, and fight his mandatory, which is Tim Tszyu. So if they could really work that out, where he could fight Canelo, September 30th, and in January fight Tim Tszyu while he gets another interim fight where he knocks somebody out, I think that's great for the sport of boxing. Because you don't want the mandatory challenger to kind of be waiting, because, you know, he was waiting for the broken arm. I'm not going to, what he put up recently that Canelo ducked Charlo, and Canelo ducked David Benavidez, and Charlo ducked Tim Tszyu. Almost fell over laughing. Like, boy, if you don't stop, man, you better. Matter of fact, wouldn't a great fight Castano versus Tim Tszyu? Wouldn't that be a great fight? Thank you, everyone. I have to play that outro music. Gotta go make some runs today. I head to Brooklyn. Salute, just do. Rising up. Respect to the chat. Oh, yeah, respect to everyone here, man. You know what? Where we're all going to be in a couple of minutes. I want to hit Fanon laugh. So crazy. Think about that. The likes of, you know, the haters are going to be mad. It ain't little Charlo. It's big Charlo. Or is it little Charlo? Jamel is smaller, right? Jamel's the youngest one? I'm about to get up out of here, fellas. I thank you all for stopping by. So we went over, if you play the replay, like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 subs. We're at 287. We're almost there. You know, we're trying to get monetized. We're trying to gain some of that YouTube money so that way you guys can support. I thank each and every one of you for stopping up. Terry, Jose Diaz, Mike Kirkland, Just Do Boxing, Dapper Douglas. I always like to just shout out the people with skills from New Orleans, BVO Boxing, Terry Smoot, my brothers, my sisters, everyone. I thank you. I thank you. Jose was here from the morning, from early. He was the first one in the chat. All right, we have some great fights upcoming. We have great dope ass. That's right. That's right. Is the younger. Yeah, Jamel is the younger. So 1 minute. So we got little Charlo. I'm excited for boxing, man. This is just great and awesome news. Actually, Just Do on his channel was the first to drop the news yesterday. It came out, confirmed. Steven Espinoza confirmed it. Steven Espinoza just like, what y'all want to see next? What y'all want to see next? I'm about to text that man and say Boo Boo versus Big Charlo. And not listen, we stamped this as the best year of boxing. Me and Just Do talked about it at the beginning of the year. We said 2023 was going to be significant. I don't know if it's just because, new energy started to get into the chat. D for the win. What's good? Morning, bro. PBC. Oh, they showing their ass. They stepping on them, bro. They stepping on their necks. Like hard. Just stop. They're like, oh, you think we just signed them? Okay, nah, we're going to do this. Like, the marketing behind it, like how they're gonna build this fight, undisputed versus it's just like WCS morning. Oh, what's good, G? How you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a minute. WCS, what's good? World Combat Sports, man. Salute to you. Thanks for pulling up. But y'all caught me as I'm about to exit 50-50 because Mel has been inactive and Canelo post before Skull has diminished. Skills, yeah, absolutely. Well, that's why it's significant. And I think that's why he also chose him. Like, yeah, people were gonna kill him if he had chose the Big Charlo, who had been out the ring for 2 years. But to choose Mel and the significance of that fight, the way it can be built. Remember, they were at 154 together. Jamal went up to 160. He was at 160 with Jamal. Then he went to 168. Yo, bro, you've been ducking me for 3 weight classes. I'm glad that I finally got to drag you down, and I'm going to come up to your weight class with my belts and my hardware, and now we're going to have a pound-for-pound star versus a guy who they refuse to put on the pound-for-pound list. And let's see who walks away from this fight, unscathed. I think this is going to be a war. Cherry pick going wrong again. Oh, yeah, he picked the wrong one. Listen, I wanted Canelo to fight Boo Boo. I thought Boo Boo deserved the opportunity. You can check my stats. I wanted Boo Boo first. But this fight is fantastic. And I'm great and elated. Shout out to PBC. Shout out to Al Heyman, Showtime, TGP Promotions. Shout out to the state of boxing because y'all giving us so much to talk about. September, man, we're gonna run out of way to view this fight, to kind of diagnose and break down this fight. But I'm about to play that outro music. I thank you for everyone that stops up, that popped up. Thank you once again. Undercard and Boxing, signing out. After the intro.